Hi, this is Lucio, and it's time for another channel update. So, just a bit of a catch up, tell you how it's going, and also what's going to happen in the near future. So, it is now October, and we all know that October is Halloween month. So, we're going to turn things up, make things a little bit more spooky, and hopefully it's not too bad. Hope you don't mind a bit of a spookier atmosphere. I turned all the lights out basically, and that was all the preparation I made. Okay, so recently we've been playing some other games, so if you've missed anything, you might want to go back and check those out. So a little while ago, we finished Backbone, so that had the ending that it did. I don't know what you think about the ending. It was a bit of a shift from how the game started to how the game ended, but they made that creative decision to do something a little bit different, and it's up to you how you think that paid off. So it was quite a fun adventure, and it had a bit of a twist that not many people saw coming. Sometimes that's cool, sometimes it doesn't pay off. But it was worth a shot, and we saw that story through to the end. The other big gameplay that finished a couple of weeks ago was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It was a big Metroidvania platformer, lots of bosses, lots of exploration, and it was fun checking out that story, revisiting the characters from Blind Forest, and kind of bringing that story to a close. Also ongoing on the channel is Fuga. Is it Melody of Steel is the name of that game, and it's a big strategy game. You're kind of like riding along in a tank, shooting some bad guys, but it's all turn-based, it's all strategic, and it's quite methodical how you have to kind of build your resources and make sure a tank is strong enough to survive what's coming up. Big gameplay, big videos, and it's going to be ending very, very soon. So, I don't know. Do you think I'm going to get the good ending? Do you think that I'm going to have to do something else? If you've been following the gameplay, you might have a guess on how it's going to go, but it's coming soon, and it's going to end very, very, very soon. Which brings us on to what is new. The channel has kind of slowed down a bit. I realised this. These were quite big gameplays. Yeah, I've taken a bit of a slowdown. And now we're in October. We can kind of start afresh, get some new stuff going. Hopefully get back on speed, but maybe at a bit of a steadier rate. Maybe, I don't know, four gameplays a week. I'm trying to see where my hands are on the screen. I don't know. I'm not even using a lamp. This is just the glow of the screen. But it's October, it's spooky month, and spooky month means spooky gameplay. It's nothing super scary, but things are a little bit more Halloween-y. So a few more skeletons and a few more ghosts than what you might otherwise normally see. So if you don't like spooky stuff, I've got one cheerful gameplay, and that is Grow Home. It's nothing like anything else that's going to be appearing this month. It's just a very bright, happy, friendly kind of platform exploration, and it's kind of procedurally generated, so as you play the game, you kind of develop the game world as you go on. So a lot of how the game develops is on you, on how you choose to do it. If you want to make it difficult for yourself, that's your mistake. So yeah, you kind of a little robot, and you've got to grow a plant up to a spaceship, and you grow the vines up and up and up. And if you grow them poorly, then you're going to have trouble. If you grow them well, then the game is going to be a lot easier for you. It's quite a short gameplay. We'll get through it in, I think it's 3 parts, so it won't take long to get through. And that's just something, if you really don't want the horror stuff, we're going to be playing that as well. Alright, on to the creepier stuff. First up, we have got... Boo! Sorry, I hope it didn't scare you too much. So I filmed the video a little while ago, and it's kind of like, well, I didn't announce everything, so I'm going to add a couple more right now. So a while ago, I did announce Pacify. It's a bit of a scary, spooky kind of game, and that's another one we're going to be checking out quite soon. Also, the other one, soon after recording this, I ended up with a copy of Tales of Iron, and that is already underway. So there's a couple more gameplays also along with the announcements of this video. So I hope this image isn't too scary for you. And yeah, on with the video. Please ignore my cursed face. Yeah, on with the video. Count Lucano, and this is quite a fun little game. You're kind of exploring around a mansion, solving puzzles, and you're trying to discover this big secret and treasure and stuff like this, while being chased around and while hiding from kind of gross monsters. It's not really scary, but there are some spooks, and there are some like demon goats, and it's just a bit of fun. It's Halloween-y as opposed to scary, so that's going to be quite fun. It's got some multiple endings. I'm going to check those out as well. Okay, next up we have got a weird game. It's called The Hex, and I don't know if you've heard of it before or not, but there was a game I played a while ago on the channel called Pony Island, and this game is from the same developer as that. So it's kind of like this fourth wall breaking, multi-genre kind of game. So every 20 minutes or so, the type of game it is changes. It's like point and click, then it's like a platformer, then it's like an RPG, then it's like a strategy game, shooter. It just changes all the time. And it has like an overarching narrative where there's just an ongoing story between all these game styles. But the reason for this is because the characters in the game are video game characters, if that makes sense. We're in a world of video game characters, sort of like Wreck-It Ralph, and they can kind of hop between games and kind of break the code if they want to, or cheat. And obviously if you do that kind of stuff, there are consequences. And so this is like it's quite an ambitious narrative. It's actually quite fun. So yeah, this is going to be ongoing, and it's going to be coming to you very, very soon. And the other big gameplay that's coming up quite soon is a visual novel. And I haven't done a big visual novel for a while, and this it is a proper horror story. It's called Echo, and when I read the description of it, I wasn't quite sure what to make of it, but I gave it a look, I gave it a chance, and it's quite a serious horror game. It's a little bit stronger than what I was expecting, and some of the content is quite disturbing, but then it is a horror. And if something's a horror, it's going to be horrific, and if it isn't horrific, it's not a horror. So it's kind of like necessary for how that story is going to go. Like a lot of visual novels of this type, it doesn't really come together until you've seen your first ending. And once you've seen that first ending, when you look at the other routes, you can really see how it layers up and how it all starts to come together. I can't emphasize enough, it is a dark story. And if you're willing to bear with it and get through the problematic and difficult areas that the game discusses deliberately to upset you, then it's going to be quite rewarding, I think. I'm only on my second route now, actually, but I think it's looking quite promising. So we're going to check this out. I don't know how much of it I'm going to do. I don't know if I hit a point and say this is too much horror, and I'll back away. But for the minute, I'm intrigued and I want to check out more. So yeah, it's an interesting dark one. It's basically about a bunch of characters who meet up after a few years. They've had a bit of a break, and as part of their reunion, they're trying to process a trauma that happened many years ago. But the nature of the trauma is also a bit cloudy because of, like, is it their hazy memories? Is there a curse? Is there like some kind of ghost or spirit or something? We don't know. It's a whole mess of things, and we're going to try and discover that gameplay one piece at a time, and fairly long gameplays again. So if you're having like a bit of a quiet evening or a long lunch break, and you just kind of want to chew over something, watch one part, think about it for a couple of days, and then get on to the next part. It's that kind of story. It really gives you something to think about, and hopefully it's going to be something that we all enjoy, if not be slightly disturbed by it. And that is it. So that's kind of like the general plan I have for like the near future for the channel. But I don't know, last time I did an update, I said I was going to take it slow, and then Fuga and 12 minutes landed on my lap, and I had all these cool new gameplays to check out, and I had to like really hurry up and get back with the program. So I don't want to make any promises that I'm going to do certain things, or whether I'm going to slow down, speed up, because you never know what's going to happen. There are a couple of other games I've not mentioned that I do have my eyes on at the time I'm recording, but it's just, I can't tell the future. So if there are other gameplays, good for us. And also more work for me. I'll try and keep up, and I'll try and keep those cool gameplays coming. Hopefully you're enjoying them, and hopefully you appreciate the picks that I'm making to keep things nice and varied, and just keep a nice turnover of weird, interesting, story-based titles. And I hope that you check those out. I don't know what I'm saying. I've lost my train of thought. And that is the end of this update video. Yep, I hope to see you soon. I hope you enjoy the upcoming gameplays. And this is Usho signing off, and hopefully I will see you next time.